Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jurassic Palms, our 90s inspired Jurassic Park build, in which we are adding today a herbivore canyon, or to be more precise, we are building a aviary that is kind of topping the canyon, connected with a little waterfall and a tour, and in that canyon we're going to house a couple of different sized herbivores, and we will have the Cretaceous cruise going through that area. So this is gonna be a bit of a chill build today because it's it's rather on the normal side of things, if that makes sense, but it's really utilizing the in-game tools to the best capability, so it's not been the longest build. I think in total, with all the little things and so on, it took me about 2 hours to make this, which is, for me personally, a insanely short amount of time for a build, but I was rather happy with it. The aviary isn't done yet. We will do something special with the aviary in a future episode, so that is something I'm going to show you in the real-time part, so please stick with me. I'm going to show you some really cool things in the real-time part later on, where we're going to have a look at the tour. We're going to jump on one of the canoes and just go around for a bit. We are going to have a look how this all was shaped and, you know, what is in here in the future, because this project is, moving forward nicely, and the potential of finishing this in the coming month is very good, very highly likely, simply because the pre-work I've done now is almost completed, and the next episodes will be filling a lot of the gaps that still exist. And then we also have to focus on some of the buildings. At the moment, we are really in a lack of amenities, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually. I just wanted to focus on different, habitats and so on first, and making sure that this tour, because the tour, I think I never really talked too much about the tour because it was always there, but the main idea is that we still have, somewhat similar to the original Jurassic Park, a main tour that goes through most of the habitats available. And then obviously for all the bigger ones we have dedicated tours, or as for in here, the Cretaceous cruise. I think it's going to be a good mixture for both sides. And yeah, I think while we're building a beautiful bridge crossing over here, over the little waterfall, this is just purely for the tour, obviously, as we don't have bridges in game. I want to just mention that every single episode, in case Frontier is listening, that we will actually need some bridges. That would even make the whole thing more dynamic. But speaking of, I think this specific project over here shows very nicely how different this game is to the other games, and I'm a little bit sad that it seems to not spark the kind of the big wave of builds I was expecting, to be honest. I have the feeling that the Jurassic community still leans more on the typical kind of builds, and just like really to the, I don't know, it's maybe all catered too much to the franchise for the moment, and people have to get used to the opportunity to build more than just Jurassic Parks build. I mean, just like I'm literally building a Jurassic Park inspired park here, but what I mean is you can branch out and become more and more creative with everything a bit. But what you can see clearly on YouTube and also on the workshop, that what works the most is original Jurassic Park content, so original Jurassic World content, if you will, simply because it's just makes so much sense, because the attraction to that is just so high, and the likeliness of understanding what you're up for is super high, so people just can relate to it so much more simple, which is understandable but sad at the same time, because it kind of stops people from becoming more and more creative and develop what you could do with the potential of building a prehistoric zoo, because eventually that's what it is. And so what I wanted to achieve with this project at the end of the day is not only that this is becoming a nice Jurassic Park, but also a nice zoo. This is why I'm trying to really do my best in kind of mixing the style I went for with the idea of Jurassic Park and the security measurements, but also at the same time with the typical flow of a normal zoo, like having different type of tours and rides, but then also having just a lot more kind of, normal zoo type of viewing, despite the fact the game unfortunately doesn't allow us to, which I haven't really found a solution for that. I wanted to go into that a bit more in the future. If you have, please go in the comments down below. If you have an idea how a viewing gallery type of facility could be realized that is typically a normal viewing. Like, my best idea is to go for a null variant, you know, that you kind of have a null viewing gallery, if you will, which is basically just a placeable object at the side of the road, and then you have like a viewing angle from over there, and if you block that with scenery, the viewing would get lower. So that could, at the end of the day, help us to create natural viewings, because with the canyon we will have eventually, not yet, but we will have an overhang viewing platform, and this platform obviously would be a super crazy thing that people always would go to. It would be so popular in real zoos, you know, and you don't need to have a facility. I still understand why the game does it, because of the way the game calculates viewing, because you have the viewing and then the amount of viewing go for as how many animals you can see per habitable area. Is that how you say that? Because you don't really have enclosures anymore. Because of the natural barriers, the game doesn't really know where exactly the habitat borders is, so you can't really fill a percentage of the habitat. I think the only thing you can do is you can fill in a potential of the habitable area of the animal, because that's the one they are living in, and so the amount of viewable area within the habitat that the animals define as their natural habitat, I think goes for as how many you can see per quota, whatever, you know, that's just how I think it's calculated. And the moment you would get into that people can see animals from everywhere, this might actually be too powerful, or at the same time it might get too little powerful. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what exactly the issue would be, but I assume that this would kind of create an issue with the gameplay. However, as for Sandbox, I would love to have a null variant of the viewing, just to be able to make viewing areas where people actually go, point at animals, you know, do some animations, I would say, engagements, whatever, that just goes along with the idea of a natural zoo. Okay, enough rambling about that. Let's move on with the style I was going for over here. And I had a bit of a... Yeah, I have a bit of a moment here. I didn't know exactly what to go for. I wanted to go for a bit more of a rundown variant, but then I decided to have it a mixture of rundown and more modern. You'll see that in a bit. So this kind of bridge crossing over is like a typical kind of, you know, stone bridge, and I used the bottom part of a plant, I believe that was, which it had a very nice texture. I don't know, it felt like a bit of a nice texture where I don't need to slap a lot of decals on to make it look weathered. And I had a hard time to go for which fence I wanted to go, so I ended up going for a combination of a modern fence but made a bit more rusty with the stone cobble wall, and then we had these weathered stones that I like to use. I really would love them to be bigger, to be honest. I like the texture of them quite a lot. They are super nice, super swampy. I wish they would be better. And I also am using this type of fence over here also as dressing for the houses, because I like it quite a lot, and I think the way I used this in the other habitat was a bit underrepresented, so this deserved a lot more spotlight, so I decided to use that for our barrier and viewings over here. I did change this into window viewing, so people can actually, well, they can't actually, because, you know, again, that's not how the game works, but technically that's the idea. You could go in there and have a little view. I think that would be fantastic. That would be really nice indeed, but you never know how people would do this in the real game if they could. So it's just like an idea, and it's still, and this is what I meant earlier, the game has so much potential, but yet there is still so much implied, because the two worlds colliding here, the planet world with the piece by piece building and sheer endless possibilities to set up habitats, and the idea of how Jurassic World Evolution functions as a game, I would personally say they just don't align fully yet. The game itself is still catered to the lesser creative tools because of the way it calculates everything, as I've talked enough now about. But at the same time, you have all the freedom to build everything, and what that creates, in my opinion, is a certain liveliness. That's the wrong word. It's a basically a dull area that has too little life in it. Like, people still walk around a little bit like zombies, you know, they don't act as proper guests as they are in the Planet games, which to a certain degree is fine, because that is a bit of a different game, and typically it's the focus on the animals. It's all good, but I wish they had some more animations, also that they would use the vending machines, for example, that are now in the game. I would love to see them having a bit more interaction, maybe. I don't know, you don't need tours or anything like that. You know, you have the tours where they can sit in. You don't need keepers that do talks or whatever like we have in zoo. It's all good. You don't need that much detail, even though I would love to see that in here. But at the end of the day, it would be really nice to at least have a couple more things. Like, for example, vista points is a thing we had in other games, where you can put some points down where people go, so you can kind of dedicate the gas flow to a certain point, if you will. Here, by the way, this is what I meant with the more modern building in here, with the kind of turquoise color, turquoise. I still have no idea. You guys gave me ideas in the comments. I still have no idea how to pronounce that. It's such a weird word. I guess I have to search that online and give me the proper pronunciation of that one. Yeah, but now we come to the heart of today's episode. I'm using this rock over here as for the canyon. I'm not going for the Mediterranean rock. That is actually for... It would make my life a lot more simple if I was going for that one. But the white rocks, I just don't feel it, you know. As this is supposedly in the US over here, the map itself is the wrong one anyways, but I felt like this map still has the nicest textures and stuff, so I went for that one. But realistically, these type of rocks over here in a more brownish color are a lot more realistic and a lot more nice looking than the white ones. And all the other ones also didn't work because they were either too dull or too bright. So yeah, I ended up using these ones, which I'm fairly happy with, and I used a lot of these things to create like a natural looking canyon wall, and yeah, just placed them in here. And the idea is that this could technically already be something that was in here. My imagination is that this could have been a quarry before that is turned into this kind of a canyon, or it, you know, maybe it's not been a quarry or a mine or whatever, but something that used to be used already as a area to dig in, because realistically, simply being so close to the sea, you wouldn't have a natural canyon like that, because that one would be flooded all the time, so it doesn't make sense. And you would also have the groundwater all over the place over here, so it just makes sense. If that's been a quarry, the groundwater issue would have been already resolved, and the same goes for like a mine or so. Then that would work perfectly. As you can see, I'm using the brush over here to kind of tie in some of the builds. You can see the aviary is going to be hidden here nicely in the side of the rocks and so on, so that you only get a view from the opposite side where there is going to be the viewing platform. This is the only spot where you'll be able to see the viewing gallery, but also the only thing you're going to see is with the tour. And I'm still trying to get the tour, to sneak the tour into the galleries, into the aviary, I guess, which I think is a good idea to do. But at the end of the day, I am still not 100% sure if I want to. So yeah, there are a couple of things I'm still debating with myself, if that makes sense. I still am very happy with the outcome of today's build, because you can also tell that these natural builds still can look amazing. As you can tell over here, this is the simple bridge, but now with putting these rocks into place and not only just slapping them in like cluelessly, it's just really with the focus on framing this waterfall area nicely over here, you can achieve something super nice looking. I'm so happy about this entire area in general, but also the way it functions. I'm pretty damn happy with the way it sits in the spot in the park. It's not too massive. It still gives you some very nice viewing opportunities, specifically for the Gary building. By the way, rest in peace, Frank Gary. How weird that we had this Gary building recently, and then a couple days later, the man himself actually died. I think has been aged 94 or so. It's not like he's not having had a great life, but what a weird timing that was. I found also that this pine tree over here is the perfect tree for these kind of canyon overhanging things which I was using all the time, and then I figured that this looks cool, as if they were growing out of the canyon walls. But here you can see that was just me checking the sidelines if it just works the way I wanted to, and it turned out it did work. So yeah, I tried my best here to sneak all these things in to make it look good. I am pretty confident that this thing looks really good. I have done a couple of things off screen. You'll see when we go in game that there are a couple of little things changed, like foliage wise, and like tiny things I adjusted to make the animals thrive in there a bit better. It might actually be a little bit too cramped in. I don't know exactly. Maybe I need to get out a couple animals, but you'll see. I'm decently happy. Is that a word even? I'm happy with it. It's kind of decent. And the last thing I did is put an aviary hatchery in here, because that's something we're dealing with in the future. But you can see the backstage area is now nicely connected. Speaking of which, I'll connect you with my real-time self now, which is going to give you a tiny bit of a tour of this newly created canyon and what is going to happen in the future. And here we are in game. You can see this is the finished canyon, and I did do a little temporary viewing gallery or viewing platform to the top left, as you can see. Just zoom in there on this one. There you can see it. It almost looks like as if people sitting or standing on there, again, as always with the fake technique of the bench, you know. I wish we had, you know, talking a lot about the vista points and so on, I wish we had like spawners or platforms where people would be standing on only. I'd be happy with that too. So here you can see the little Cretaceous tour, you know, when we zoom in. Oh god, like the view from over here is also, that's so sick. The view is also so freaking awesome with Stego there, and then them driving through here. You have that viewing gallery hidden nicely there in the canyon, and yeah, I just love the view, And when we fly over here, just in that area, there you can see another lovely little dinosaur in here. Gosh, I love this one so much, the feathery friend, little ducky duck. They have also like some of the best skins in my opinion. Also that Stego skin over here is absolutely fire. That's so good. God, also the game is super loud. I need to tone the game sounds down in the edit later on, otherwise you guys might actually be a bit overdone. What's also kind of cool is you could put some glass down here. I think I may do this. I can put like a glass panel in the center. I think that would be fun for one of the next episodes. But yeah, you can see, oh my god, look at this one. That is such a freaking awesome skin. But yeah, so you can see this is the area, and there is the look for the aviary, as you can see, with that little bridge crossing over, and then you can see this is where the little boat comes, and yeah, just like this is how it all looks. And if we fly in here, just real quick, this is not done, as I said, but you can see it will be done very nicely. There's still enough space for the flyers in here, and then it's gonna be even more cool. And then the tour goes over here, and you could even see some flyers if you go by that one. Also, I'm wondering, where is the tour? Where is the tour? Let's jump out of this camera for a bit and then go back into the normal Jurassic camera. I'm wondering, like, there is a tour. Oh, what happened here? That is interesting, because, okay, well, that didn't happen before. Let's quickly fix that. Did I change something over here? I don't even know what happened, but let's see if we can fix this by maybe having a bit of a big obstructed because of the cast. Is that because of the root? That is so odd, because this did not happen before. I mean, I could literally just put like concrete in here, and then they should be able to drive relatively easy above that. But for the moment, I don't want to do this. So I think what I need to do is edit the tour, and then just say delete this bit here. See you later. And then what I could also do, you know what, while we edit, we could just delete the tour for a bit and then just reconnect this, just go a little further outwards. And then that should do the trick. I think that should do the trick. So let's have a look, speed up the game and see if the tour now managed to go over. Here you can see, by the way, the shopping coverage, amenities and stuff, all is relatively low. Oh my god. Yeah, I gotta fix that, but I'm not going to do this here in the real-time part. I just wanted to show you how it's going over the bridge eventually, if I didn't mess up anything before that one. Because the tour is relatively important for us anyways, and it's gonna be a very interesting tour once it's all done. I have so many ideas in mind, also to have some animals roaming around free. That is definitely something I'm looking at for the future. So that's gonna be fun to just have some random animals roaming around free, or maybe make some fake habitats in here, because I think if I do this cleverly with the bridge, I could have some large animals roam in smaller spaces like that. I think this could be fun to just imply as if they're living in the midst of this. So you can see that's going over the bridge very nicely. God, I love this so much. Look at this. You've got a tour on top of here, and then you can see into the canyon. We could also just go into the mode over here. Oh God, I love that. I love that, my friends. This is so good. I mean, like with the viewing on the other side there, you have that, like if you fly all the way to the opposite side, you've got that viewing here, and it's all coming together nicely now. You've got that viewing, and then you overlook this area. There you have that, and then you've got the aviary in the back, and you can see now the car going over the bridge. Oh, that's so good. And then if we follow the car a little bit around, you will be able to tell it's going to go through that archway, and then from over here it goes into the big sauropod, however. And again, I'm going to use this tour eventually to go across all to the other side. I think that's going to be good. If I knew earlier how that works with the tour, I would have made myself the work to put the tour actually on top of that highway. I think this would have been so freaking awesome, but for the moment being, I'm going to leave it as is. Yeah, here you can see it's relatively crowded in here. I will eventually need to get out of some of those. They are making babies like crazy. I need to get out the nests also eventually. And then the tour is going to come over here again. And then from over here, as you know from the last episode, it's going to make its way passing by the swamps. Eventually, we will be ending up in the swamps again on the other side, but they make their way into the area of the Pyroraptor habitat. And the T-Rex habitat is here on the side. The tour will eventually go here too. So, oh my God, look at the T-Rex going for, what are you doing? Oh, go for a sleep, okay. So this is the Gary house, what I said. But what I wanted to show you is this space over here. That's gonna be next episode. We're going to focus on the Velociraptor area, and we're gonna make a lot of amenities. So this is going to be a huge park area. Another animal is gonna be added here. No spoilers for what that's gonna be. It's gonna be exciting. So we're gonna have this one, and the entire area will be fully done with amenities, a huge plaza and stuff like that. Will be fun. But now let's have a look at the looks. I want to say no, at the sidelines. This house will be done as the main building. We will be doing this soon, but also we could now hold on. How do I manage to make this slower myself? There we have it. Okay, so let's go in here. So the sidelines, very important to me. We do have our normal kind of starting area here. You can't really see that much because that was the idea, that we have a starting area just to give you a proper main street. That is all good. You know, we've got a main street. You come in here, have a small habitat with some smaller animals in here on the left hand side, that are Metrodon. Then you come over to this side, there's like a nice promenade over here, and then you can see the first bigger habitat where the tour starts in with some herbivores. And then once you make your way around that corner, you've got two opportunities. The one is to go down into this area, but then while you go down, you'll be already seeing the Gary building as like a drawing point. I mean, just look at this view, boy, that is so good. That is just exactly what I had in mind when I was building all this. And so this view is obviously very cool. But if you decide to not go here because you want to see something else, then you make your way into either the swamp area here, or you make your way here. And then you've got these two towers greeting you. That's going to be a kind of viewpoint. But if you make your way through this large walkway, eventually you're gonna wake all the way here, and then you go around, and again you get this cool view of the Gary building. So it's all about storytelling and telling where the view should go. And then the other one, if you go through the wetlands, you've got these kind of cool looks over here with the wetlands, and then got the giant ducky, people sitting still in our boats. And then you go through here, these swamp trees, and then just go all the way up. Eventually you go all the way up, and then you'll be greeted with this big building over the horizon, which is the Pyroraptor Dome, which I still have to do a couple of wordings and stuff over here. But you make your way over the crest, and don't worry, there will be something more over here. So this building will be another viewing point, or from over here you will also get the view to the Gary building. Oh man, it's all coming together nicely. So if we zoom out, woo, in this camera we can zoom out so nicely. You can see the park is now getting nicely together. So what I'm willing to do in the next coming episodes is, and I think there's not going to be that many episodes. We will need to finish up the whole backstage area, which is going to be this part over here. This is our main backstage hub from this side, and there will be another main backstage hub somewhere around here. This is going to be filled in the next episode. It's going to be a lot more amenities than usual, and then we have three major spots to be filled. This back here is going to be a big one. This one over here is going to be special. I have a very nice idea for that one, but I'm not entirely sure how to realize that yet, so maybe I'm gonna wait for another update or so. And then this is going to be something exciting too, and as you can imagine, we've got a lot of carnivores over here, so this is going to be carnivore land, and we will have maybe a type of different tour here in the carnivore land. And then on this hand side, we, as you may have been able to tell, this is our first aviary, so we might need some more aviary space in the back. So I'm envisioning this, but this is actually something I wanted to do with the aviary, so maybe both of this, I don't know, not fully decided yet. And we've got another lagoon to play with. I wanted to do that kind of turtle thingy in here, but as we don't have it in the game, I was hoping for it to be in the game. I'm gonna wait a bit more on what we can see there. I can hear you all. Oh my god, they're having trouble getting past that animal because this one is like, nah, I'm gonna have a nap over here now. I'm gonna have a nap over here. The tour will be an awful lot of work to get filmed correctly because there is so much potential of traffic jams and so on. It's gonna be insane, but it's gonna be also so good. Look, there's another. Oh my god, they do go below. Oh my god, I did not know that they do this. Ooh, that is, oh my god, that's a fire shot. I need to have a shot of that. I didn't know that they do this. This looks so, freaking awesome. Oh my god, look at that. This looks so cool. This looks so cool. I did not know that they would literally go beneath the tail of a Pelagotitan. That is, oh, it's looking so awesome. Ah, oh, wow, what a shot. What a shot that is. Look at this. How they go beneath that one. Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely, I was loving that. It's kind of hard to get this one on camera while still having imagine an animal like that with this size. It's ridiculous. I'm still happy though that they made the size somewhat more realistic. I mean, realistic is relative, but somewhat more okay in comparison to the Jurassic Rebirth one. Like the Rebirth one would be, I don't know, 2 times bigger. I don't know, times 2. I don't know. It's just literally ridiculous. But yeah, if you guys have ideas for the areas and specifically for that back area and for that back area, that's carnivore land, then let me know in the comments down below. I'm very open to suggestions, which type of animals you want to see in there. I mean, we've still a huge list of animals to cover. This was something I wanted to do for a while now, and we do have the swampy animals in, but we are still having quite a lot of fan favorites that need to find a spot. So we still haven't got any Triceratops in the park yet. We still do not have the Iguanodon in here. Actually, we can go through the list for a brief moment. So here's the hatchery. If we go into synthesis, you can see there is a lot of animals that I still want to have in. I want to have the Parasaurolophus, not the Olorotitan is something I wanted to have. The Ornithomimus now finally has its space. I wanted to do like a full area with all these nice little spiky ones like Stegosaurus, or we also have the Sauropelta go in here, Stegosaurus. Like they would be really cool in there. We have nothing for the Therizinosaurus. That one is something I want to have, something with the smaller ones, the Stygomimulch and the, where's the other one, the Paki. So those two would be very fun indeed. So I don't have anything done for those. And if we go for the carnivores, obviously we still have a huge amount of dinosaurs we can do. The Utahraptor is something I wanted to do something really cool for. Same goes for the Utaranus. By that I mean I want to have something really engaging for the guests as well. And if you go for the pescivores, we already have done obviously the Irritator and the Osteoraptor we've done last time, but Suchomimus and Baryonyx both haven't found their space. Same goes for Spinosaurus. Yeah, Spinoraptor is obviously a hybrid. That I'm not sure what I do with hybrids in this park. I may actually skip them entirely because I have the feeling they don't fit in here. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this, because now it is time to say goodbye for today's episode. I am very pleased with the result of today's episode with that insane area. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot. I promised you that we go on a ride. So, oops, there you have it. And then we go manual control. There we have it. Woo! Haven't done that yet, but yeah, we can obviously go in here. Cretaceous cruise. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Ooh, I'm loving that. I'm loving that a lot. Is that me, by the way, or is that just a random person? Can I have a second person in here too? Oh, look at that with the ornithomimus here. Oh, that is so cool. Imagine doing that in real life. I mean, you could literally do something like that. You've got an emu, and then you basically have exactly this. So, can I go faster as well? I can't. I can't toggle the lights. Toggle highlights. Ah, okay. I thought that's... can I ram into them? Oh, no, I can't. Okay, it's blocked. What a pity, though. I'm gonna overtake you to the left. Yeah, okay, this is absolutely fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. This is such a cool thing to do. That is such a cool thing to do. Look at that, the Anky there. Oh, look at how that looks. And then over here we have it with the aviary there to the side. Yeah, no, I mean, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I don't have any nests in here. I should do, maybe to get some baby stegos and baby Ankies at some point. But yeah, so this is that. Just going for a little ride. So is that one staying here? That one's just little. Control kayak, because I can't just click back on it. Oh, that is so cool. So that's gonna go over and then, ooh. So that's how it goes. That is freaking fantastic. So if I go into the mode over here again. Oh, there we have just the cast coming in. Look at the shot, guys. We would need to have some dinosaurs in. There you have it. Oh my god, this shot is also pretty damn cool. Like look at that. We've got the tail of the stego, and we've got that view over here. Can I go a little like so? And then I can't really get both in, and then that shot is also so cool. Maybe we can get the stego fully in. There you have it. There you have it. Oh, that's... Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to choose from a thumbnail because it's really damn hard to do. Oh, this canyon looks absolutely fantastic. Maybe here with the viewing platform also looks kind of cool. That looks also kind of cool, like this beautiful canyon and then having a viewing platform inside, and maybe from above like this. Oh, it's very hard. It's very hard to choose from. Anyways, I start to ramble because I'm so captivated in this build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I don't need to say that I enjoyed it. I guess I could translate that into my, narrative over here. Thank you so much for watching as always. I wish you guys a wonderful day, wonderful pre-Christmas, Christmas, whatever. Have a good time in the coming days. Relax, enjoy, and hope to talk to you in the next one.